Khalsa Aid Canada is sending 6 Canadian volunteers to Poland to provide humanitarian aid to Ukrainian refugees. 4 of them are from Toronto, and they will leave to Europe this Friday. The team will join other members of Global Khalsa Aid on the ground, providing meals, travel, and shelter assistance to refugees. For more on this, we welcome to CP24 tonight Gurpratap Singh and Harmanjot Singh. Both are volunteers with Khalsa Aid Canada. Thanks to both of you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Gurpratap, let's start with you. Tell us a bit about your decision to go to Poland to help people during this crisis.
Of course, we've been watching the sad news since almost a month now about what's going on. It does feel like a personal calling that, we could either just sit here and, watch these things happen around the world or be part of the change. And that's the reason why we volunteer here with Khalsa Aid. This kind of work is not new to us. We've done work like this across the globe with humanitarian aid in different countries, whether it was Syrian refugees, whether refugees in Iraq. So when we see the things that are happening in Ukraine right now, we believe, not just as volunteers for Khalsa Aid, but as Canadians as well, to stand up and do something about it.
Harmanjot, talk about where you'll be going in Poland and the work that you'll be doing there. What kind of help do people there need right now?
We are going to Warsaw, and we're leaving on 25th, the Friday. We're going to help people with food security, because that's what they're dealing with right now, because I can relate it to myself as well. My grandparents, they kind of, they were in the same boat as well. They went into fight as well during India and Pakistan partition as well, so I can relate it to. We're going to help them with day-to-day basis as well. We're going to help them with food and shelter as well.
So Harmanjot, this must have a double meaning for you. Talk a bit about your personal story and how that factored into your decision to help.
I've heard so many stories from my grandparents. They moving from Pakistan when the partition happened. The struggles they go through, they went through that time, in every single circle. Leaving home, it's not easy. Leaving all their belongings as well, because that's where the personal touch is, right? And leaving that and moving to a totally different country with no home, no food, no clothing. Basically, it's really hard for them. So I can relate to myself.
Mm-hmm. And that's what we're seeing happen right now in Ukraine. Gurpratap, supplies have been such a big issue and barrier in places like Mariupol. What kind of difference will the work that you're about to do make to people who are there, who've escaped Ukraine and are in Poland right now?
Definitely. So there's a large stress on even the existing work that's going on there. We've been continuously sending teams, whether from the States, from here, from England, just so that we can have fresh people go in there. So our volunteers from the States were gone there last week, and they're going to be coming back. Our team's going to go there because just in terms of the scale, if I can talk about that, the refugee camp that we have in Warsaw, where we're going to be serving, there's about 7,000 people, but just in the city of Warsaw, the population has doubled over the last 2 weeks. Wow. So half the population in that city are refugees. So you can imagine the strain it adds on people that are fleeing the country, but also Poland and the Polish people that are trying to help them. So, every bit that we can do to help with our manpower, our resources. So we're going to be at these shelters, providing a safe space for them, providing food, shelter, so that they have that time to make that decision where they're going to be heading to next.
So Harmanjot, what's the plan? How long will you be there for? Gurpratap mentioned there's sort of a rotation between crews.
So what we're doing right now is, so everyone's going by a weekly basis. We'll be going, 6 of us. We'll be going on 25th, the Friday, and coming back on April the 2nd as well. So then the next crew will go there and help our people.
And Gurpratap, you mentioned a bit about the scale of this work. Khalsa Aid, we know, has branches in so many countries. Talk to us a bit about the work that goes into planning this sort of global response.
Of course, there's a lot of homework that needs to get done. So our team in the UK was already working on this before the war even started, because when, globally, as we can see, there were indications that there could be a problem like this. We don't expect it to happen, but we do anticipate it. And in anticipation, we've done our homework, and we had figured out how we're going to establish some contacts in Ukraine to help people get out safely, establish some contacts in Poland and Romania and Moldova, so that once they get to these countries, we can outsource and find out how we can get food. We can have kitchens up and running. So it takes a lot of that work beforehand, because once the crisis has started already, it is going to be very difficult for us to pool our resources together. Our experience in places like Yemen, Syria, Lebanon, Iraq, they've helped us, and this is not something new to us. So we're used to this. Our team has always been active part of these missions. So it just takes a lot of homework to do this, to make it right.
Yeah, can you expand a bit more on, some of the experiences you've both had responding to other crises and how that informs the approach to this one?
Yeah, like it's similar, to be honest. Like any experience for refugees has always been similar. Like Harmanjot also said, you're leaving your home, you're leaving your belongings with no sense of where you're going to go to next. All your resources, you're literally with your bags, you've left your house and you don't know where you're going to stay the night. You don't know where you're going to eat. So those situations, this situation in Ukraine is not any different. Dealing with these refugees as well. And we've been lucky enough to be part of Khalsa Aid, that this organization's been around the world in different places. So we've learned from each other's experiences, from experiences of other volunteers, on how we can make best use of our time while we are there.
It is a dire situation. It's also, we should mention, a dangerous situation. Harmanjot, I just wonder whether you're concerned at all for your own safety.
Exactly, because with all COVID-19 going on as well, it's there's kind of it's we can say it's not that safe, but at the end of the day, that's our motto as well. Recognize the whole human race as one. Wherever we can go, whatever we can help with, we're gonna do it. Coming from that, I heard a story. Someone moved from Afghanistan to Ukraine for a better lifestyle or better living, and from that, moving from Ukraine now to Poland, it's really hard for them.
Wow. Yeah. Stories like that really, really are hard to digest. Also, we should mention Russian troops, they're pushing further west. The war is starting to feel dangerously close to Poland's border towns. Gurpratap, I wonder whether you have any hesitations or concerns about this trip.
I would be lying if I said we're not worried about our own safety as well. But again, as humans, it is it's my personal belief, at least, that you can't guarantee if we're going to live another day. As what we can do in our capacity, we should be doing that. This is what our heart tells us to do. This is where our passion lies. So if we can go out there, help somebody else, help save lives, help them have a better future, that's what we sign up for. That's what our troops sign up for. That's what people in the medical profession sign up for. That's what everybody's trying to do collectively. But if we can do this as volunteers, why not?
Well, we commend you for the work that you're doing. Good luck on the trip. We hope you come back safely. And thank you so much for sharing your story and your time with us tonight.